You can't create this stuff. Now, of course, I could, for all you know, I could be making this up, but I'm not making this up. I found this book, and I bought the book, a couple of bucks. Lincoln, Land and Labor. Look at the similarities in those pictures. That told me, okay, just chill out. It's going to work out. Nick's going to be fine. When we left, Yvonne, my wife and I flew to Charlotte from New Orleans. She got a connection to Harrisburg. I got a connection to Chicago. And then I ended up back home, and it all worked out. The challenge of working through your son's mental health situations, as well as meeting other things, I could have canceled the talk. But apparently, the destiny part of it was that would not have been the thing to do. All right, so here you go. 5 points. Transformation to success. Be a lifelong learner. Be a focal point of influence. Enter new territory. Sustain leadership through difficult times. Relationships. A little bit more and then we're going to be done. Development of effective relationships. Key to success of people and organizations. Properly focus on relationships during encounters. Now here's a relationships. Well, that's collaborative relationships. But we'll cover these at the same time. Because going back to our car, the relationships are in the passenger compartment. Here's collaborative relationships. You see these 4 young people leaning on each other. If any one of them drops out, the whole thing collapses. I'll show you this video. Relationships. I'm sure Dave's talked about this in his sessions. Relationships are huge. Without relationships, we are nowhere. We will get nothing done. You can do a lot by yourself and maybe get some things done, but you've got to be in relationship with somebody somehow, some way, in most of what you're doing, if not all. Whether you're driving to work and you're in relationship with everybody around you, or you're at work, or wherever, or you're doing some mission or some goal, you're always in relationship. Now let me just preface this. Without getting details, just visualize. You're going to see in here a tractor trailer, a bus, a couple of autos, and some vehicle pulling a camper type trailer. Figure these as different generations, or figure them as different people in your life. Well, I did this, when I did this once, I did it as generations. It's like, and then you'll see an RV. The big RV was the baby boomer generation. They're out vacationing. The little car was the younger generation. The tractor trailer was another generation, and the car pulling a trailer was another generation. Or just think of these as different people in your life. Maybe pick one of these. Say, I'm the tractor trailer, and figure, what am I going to do? This is a bus, and that's a tractor trailer.
Mal sehen, wenn sich das beides da auf... Der LKW rückwärts hoch. Glück gehabt. Gut gemacht.
All right. The seemingly impossible became possible. Whatever, we don't know what those people did. We don't know if they talked to each other or they just looked at each other. We don't know if they cursed at each other. We don't know what they did. But they were in some kind of relationship that they figured out, how are we going to get around these possible hairpin curves? And I'd like to find out where that is. And like I said, the truck, you don't get the perception there, but it's a sheer rock wall well above the top of the truck. Sheer rock. And he's skimmed around there probably inches from that sheer rock wall. And the bus gets around him, and they made it. So that speaks a message of, you could use it for generations working together. Can we work together as generations? I believe we can. We can't if we have perceptions that keep us from recognizing another generation. I'm working with Jason Verdelli, who's 29. I'm 62. He's teaching me stuff I've never learned before. This guy's awesome. There's no generation gap. I see what he does well, and he sees what I do well, and we put it together, and we come out with a great product. Collaborative relationships, connectivity, and synergy. It's interesting to look at words and look at their definitions, because we can talk about being connected, we can talk about have synergy, but if you sat down, what's it really mean to be connective and synergetic? What's it really mean? Connectivity, the condition of being connected or connective, the ability to make and maintain a connection between two. So can I be connected with one or more people in this room or not? Can I focus on that word connectivity and say, I got to figure out how I'm going to be connected to such and such a person in such and such a situation? And then this synergy comes into play when it's the interaction of those two or more agents, so that the combined effect exceeds the sum of their individual effort. In other words, 1 plus 1 it becomes greater than 2. Connectivity and synergy. Can we develop our relationships such that they are connected, connective? Make and maintain that connection with an interaction which combined effects is greater than the sum of the whole. It's like we can do great things. We can accomplish things seemingly impossible, just like on the hairpin curve. Okay. Transform yourself to success. What's the second profile point? Be a lifelong learner. That's a wheel. A wheel. Be a focal point of influence. Enter new territory. Sustain leadership through difficult times. Develop effective relationships. Practice collaborative relationships. One important thing about collaborative relationships: when you collaborate with somebody, you do not have to give up your identity. You do not have to do it like they do it. They don't have to do it like you do it. Dave doesn't give up his identity by collaborating with me. He has his books back here, his repertoire of learning resources for you to benefit from. And I have mine. I have my identity, he has his identity. We're not giving up anything unless we say, what's in it for me? We didn't say that. For him to come to me, the only thing he could be saying is, what's in it for me? He's saying, what's in it for you? How can I be a help to you? Be my guest speaker. We're not giving up identity, so don't be afraid of collaborative relationships. Cross that border. Barbush Enterprises. That's me. That's my catch a wave look, the Hawaiian shirt. And there's my business look. We started Harrisburg Biz Leaders in September of 2011. You can look us up, bizleaders.com. That'll take you there. Leaders getting together to talk about leadership topics. So since September 2011, it's like, what is that, 8 months? We're still going at it. A small core of people growing with each other. It's not about me speaking, it's about us collaborating together to learn about leadership topics. Like the one lady from the bank came to network and find out what businesses need in financing. And then she said, I'm going to join. I said, why are you joining? Because once I got here, I came to network. Once I got here, I saw the value. She says, I need this every 2 weeks. Check us out. Well, I want to thank you for coming to A Profile in Dynamic Leadership. Ride a wave of vibrant leadership. I've benefited. I hope you've benefited. I hope I've given you some ideas for you to go think about who you are and what you're about, what your purposes are. I've invested in you. Now take those investments and create some dividends for yourself. I want to thank Dave Romeo for inviting me to be his guest speaker for this month of June. Great opportunity for me. Excellent timing. It's taking me to the next step in my business, in my career, and I want to turn it back to Dave.
Let's hear it for Jim.
Thank you.
All right. I'm sure you enjoyed it as much as I did. This is actually the second time that I've had the chance to see this presentation by Jim, and I'm sure you understand now why I invited him to be here today, because I knew what he does has such a great message to send along. I know I will be using some of the things that I've learned. He's absolutely right about collaboration. We could both look at the same book, the same picture, the same video, and we'll both take away different things from it. And each of us will have a message for you that you can benefit from. So I challenge you to go back and look through your notes and look at some of the resources that Jim has provided for you today and use it to change your life and to inspire the people that you reach as well. Thank everybody for coming. Please fill out your evaluations that you have in front of everybody's seat. Don't forget to put in your score at the top, preferably in double digits, and also pick your favorite stories. I know I had many for today. Once again, thanks for everybody for coming, and thank you, Jim, for being here today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dave.